As we approach the end of the year, we need to ask, are you ready? So are you ready for December 31st when two major events occur concerning your retirement? What happens on December 31st of each and every year is that the values of your IRA are set for this year, and it also determines your RMD for next year. Secondly, you must have taken your RMD for this year. If you're not aware of it, the RMDs happen at the end of your tax deferral period, which is at age 70 and a half. The government is saying that it's time to pay the taxes due on your free ride of tax deferral. But what the IRS is really saying is the ride is over. RMD means remit more dollars. Your lifetime of savings becomes a tax windfall for the government. As I've mentioned before, your RMDs must be taken by this date, December 31st. The rule is, if you fail to make your RMD on a timely manner, the penalty is 50% of what the RMD should have been. If you miss it and go into the next year, you will have two RMDs plus the penalty within the same year, and this can be potentially quite expensive. It's just important to watch your dates. Secondly, you are setting the values on December 31st for the following year. Your RMD is based on the values as of the previous December 31st. When you are working with your retirement funds, it's best to work smart. Save money and reduce taxes for your retirement, and to use all options available to you. Taxation is a reduction of your retirement assets. At my age, I'm old-fashioned, still believe that you should keep as much as possible of what you've earned. You've worked long and hard in order to attain what you have. You deserve to keep as much as possible. As companies get away from pensions and move more towards the individual being more responsible for their retirement funding, using the 401s, the IRAs, the government in the meantime is encouraging that you succeed. They want you to do extremely well. And why, you ask, would the government be so supportive and you're doing so well? It's an endless tax stream of income for them. Up to 43.4% the max. That's a 39.6 base rate plus a 3.8% for the Obamacare. Now, after a lifetime of working, you approach your goal of retirement. It's time to pursue your interest, whether it be golf, boating, or whatever. Just whatever your goal is, now is the time to kick back and enjoy the fruits of your labor. If you have been good at saving for your retirement, it's also likely that you may have several IRAs or 401s out there. However, for those who have done well, there's also a common factor. Because you've done so well during your working years, you quite likely have other investments producing the taxable income for you. It's again quite likely that you find that you will not need the income from your IRAs. It simply produces more unwanted but taxable income. However, at age 70 and a half, your silent partner comes out of the dark to claim their share of your success, ready to take their share of your money. You are now at the point when you can take some action to protect your assets, to protect your future from excessive taxation. As I have mentioned before, if you are at or near the age of 70, we have a way that can reduce your taxable assets. We have a plan that you can use to add a longer deferral period to your IRAs. If you are under 70, we also have several plans that can help you reduce the taxation of your success. You have done well in accumulating your retirement assets. Now we need to concentrate on keeping as much as possible. That is the question. The IRS has a provision that enables you to set aside 25% up to a maximum of $125,000 into a special account, deferring RMDs on that money until age 85. So how does this benefit you? First, you can reduce your IRA values up to $125,000. That then, of course, reduces your RMDs each and every year, removing that unwanted income. The end result is a lower tax liability for you. And how much are we talking about? This is what it is that we're talking about. If your birthday is before June 30th until your age of 85, you will reduce your income by nearly $100,000. If you are in the tax rate, you will also save over $43,000. That is money that you can keep in your pocket. And as an added benefit with all of this, there is no risk at all to your assets. Your assets are safe and secure. There is no market exposure that will reduce your values. The rules are you can take 25% up to $125,000 and defer it until age 85. At age 85, you will then need to start an RMD on that special account. But then we need to look at the details of the plan. The age of 85 is pushing the national lifespan, averages being 82 for men and 84 for women. You may need to pay some taxes at the time, but in the meantime, you have deferred nearly $100,000 in taxable income and saved $43,000 plus in taxes. Historically, account values will still have most of, not all, the original amount of the $125,000. Upon your passing, this account will transfer to your beneficiaries within days. So what happens after your passing? What will they do? This is where it gets interesting. So what happens next? Charity is always an option, but more than likely you have other assets that are better suited for your charitable interests. Now, assuming the average 2 children, they will inherit the $125,000 balance. At this point, I need to mention that if you have done well in your savings and setting monies aside, that trade of money management is often passed to your children. They may receive monies that they may not necessarily need also. Moving forward, each child would receive $62,500 each. Instruct them to take that over a period of 5 years, which would be $12,500. That amount will not affect their annual income as much as the full amount of $125,000 would. Okay. Take that $12,500 annually and put it into an index universal life policy. Yes, life insurance. Follow what happens. Individually, those premiums will produce a policy face value larger than the original 125. So now they've both got 125,000 plus life insurance. This alone will have doubled their inheritance. Remember the tax treatment of life insurance? Done correctly, it's all tax-free. The premiums going in can create a tax-free income later. The internal values growth can be compared to that of a mutual fund. The policy can be used for their long-term care. Also, as a side benefit, it has a death benefit, which of course is tax-free. The government is always going to have taxation, especially for those with higher assets. You have the prudent responsibility to pay no more taxes than are required. A brief commentary on assets and taxation. All of your money is taxed in one of three ways. The goal is to eliminate as many taxes as possible, keeping more in your pocket rather than the IRS's pocket, and you have some control over how it's handled. The first, taxed now, would include any 1099s that you receive for long or short-term gains, pensions, W-2s, or other income that you may have received during the year. Taxed later will include your IRAs, your 401ks, annuities, or other types of qualified funds that you may have. Taxed never. This is the sweetheart spot of your planning. Would be some muni bonds, income from your life insurance, or any contributions received from your employer to your 401k. That is all tax-free money. The bottom line is that some taxes are unavoidable. However, the goal is to avoid as much as you can. We're talking about your money on the table in determining who gets how much. As I've said before, you've earned it, you keep it. In conclusion, if you'd like a complimentary e-brochure for this plan, send me a message. Click on the red contact button and it will take you to a form to send to me. You may possibly want to pause the video in order to do this. We're in Central Florida, but location is not a problem. We have clients across the state, plus some living in other states. Again, my name is Richard Goodrum. The RICP you see is a certification awarded by the American College of Financial Services in Pennsylvania. RICP means Retirement Income Certified Professional. Besides the phone, you can reach us via the website at goodrumfinancial.com or on our Facebook page at Goodrum Financial. I would like to thank you for your time with us, and we look forward to hearing from you.